Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So what happened with Bitcoin? It does seem like it's coming down, and all the gains that we've made over the last day has disappeared. So today I'm going to explain what has happened with Bitcoin and if you should be worried. So smash the like, subscribe to the channel, make sure you hit that notification bell, follow me on social media, check out CryptosRUs.com, and more importantly, follow me on the brand new CryptosRUs Clips channel with new daily content every single day. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Whew, looking at a live chat, a lot of fearful people, a lot of scared people out there wondering what is going on. And when you're zoomed in like this on a 5-minute chart, it does look very scary. It just seems like it's a never-ending dip. But just want to point out that we are at the same level we were just yesterday. So we were at the same level. And if you zoom out and you realize, well, not all is lost. We just basically lost a day's worth of gains. All right, so I'm going to start with that. Number two is, well, today is a horrible, horrible day for the U.S. markets. The Dow Jones is down about 500 points. More importantly, NASDAQ is down 354 points, close to 3%. So there are a lot of selling going on right now. It's just, that's what's happening. And Tesla, all this news about Elon buying Twitter, well, it has a lot of people scared. And most people think that he's going to have to take a loan against Tesla. And that loan is not very favorable. But anyways, Tesla is selling off about 10% today in a single day. So what is really happening? Well, it's a whole lot of what I've talked about before. Just a lot of Wall Street traders and hedge funds that's scared about the market. Yesterday we had a good recovery day. Today it seems like, well, we're back to business. We're still scared and fearful of the rate hike that's coming up next month and fearful of inflation that will continue to rise well past into the latter half of this year. So that has not changed, and it does seem like a lot of traders are still targeting NASDAQ, targeting the tech sector. That is why the sector is going down a lot more than, say, non-tech sectors. So if you look at NASDAQ overall, you look at year-to-date performance at about negative 20%. That's a big drop since the beginning of the year, right? And even Tesla, as strong as they have been, they're down about 15% since the year started, right? So there is still a lot of fear out there. And I've been telling you guys this. The fear, the macroeconomics, they're not going to go away, right? Inflation is not going to go away. Inflation is not going to go away anytime soon. Rate hikes are going to come, and we know that's going to come. Economic recovery, right, will still continue, but probably will be slower. And we will have continuing issues with supply chain because of the war and everything else that's going on, right? That will continue on. But why should we stay with Bitcoin, right? With all these nasty things that are still ongoing, why should we stick with Bitcoin? That's what most of you guys want to know. And this is the reason why. Because when you concentrate on 5-minute charts and day-to-day charts and even week-to-week charts, and I would argue even month-to-month charts, when you focus on the bad, it's going to seem like it's bad. But when you focus long-term, years, like for example, the last 7 years, take a look at all these growth stock, tech, okay? Tech has made a killing over the last 7 years. You know what hasn't made a killing? Twitter, actually up 0% last 7 years. But look at all the high-flying tech sector or the tech stocks out there, right? Even with Tesla and Nvidia, do they come anywhere close to Bitcoin's performance? No, not even close. That is why we need to concentrate on long term, okay? Bitcoin is the way. it is the answer to inflation because nothing has appreciated faster or more than Bitcoin in the last 7 years. You can't dispute that. You cannot dispute that, okay? So, with everything I've been showing you guys, with the growing adoption, you know, the increasing in users and holders and addresses and hash rate and all that stuff shows Bitcoin is still moving forward and becoming a global digital currency, right? That is what's important, and that is what's going to drive the returns for Bitcoin in the next 7 years to be higher than everything else out there, because nothing is close, and that is what we need to pay attention to. So whenever we have days like today, whenever we have days where it seems like all is lost and everything is going down and there's just absolutely no hope and everyone's talking about bear market and we're just going to crash down to zero, just step back and remember, okay? Bitcoin solves all the issues that we're seeing right now, and nothing outperformed it, and nothing will outperform it in my opinion, and we will move past this. You just have to stretch out your timeline, okay? And more importantly, to get in on some of these crazy gains, remember, you have to buy low, right? You have to buy when things are low. You have to buy when other people are panicking and other people are getting out and calling it quits and saying, forget this, it's not for me, right? That's when you actually want to pounce. Every major investor, every investor worth listening to, every investor that's a self-made billionaire will tell you the same thing. You buy when others are fearful. You buy when others have quit and left. You want to buy when the herd is not there, right? And honestly, that's what's happening right now with retail investors outside of the long-term holders, which I know most of you guys are, right? But the rest, the retail investors, they don't know what the hell. They don't know what the hell to think, and most of them have left. And Wall Street is the same way. I've made this point. Wall Street is kind of guessing too. That's why hedge funds did so poorly in 2021. Because they're guessing along with everyone else. They don't have the same kind of conviction or faith that we long-term holders do in Bitcoin. They're just playing it. One day they'll buy and cause things to go up. Another day they'll sell off. That's why their performance sucked in 2021, if you can imagine. 2021 was one of the best years ever for all investments. Yet only three hedge funds outperformed S&P, and many were in the negative for 2021 because they're just guessing. They're guessing. And again, all the long-term investors, the ones worth listening to, they've all said, don't be a trader, be an investor. So if you're going to stay with Bitcoin, be a long-term investor. Don't focus day to day, minute by minute. I'm on a 5-minute chart to prove a point. When you're on the 5-minute chart, everything looks really, really bad, right? You want to stretch out your timeline. Focus on years, not minutes. You're not going to become a millionaire overnight by buying Bitcoin, but you certainly can by holding for the next 7 years, right? That is what you want to concentrate on. Formulate a goal for yourself to achieve life-changing wealth, and by doing so, you could get there one step at a time by taking advantage of dips, DCAing, hodling, and not panic selling like most in a situation like this. Honestly, that's how you win. That's how you win. And a 6-minute chart wouldn't really help you later too. You may want to stretch that out. All right, so that's what I want to lead with. That's exactly what happened. But again, to put things in perspective, we were at the same point just yesterday. So it may seem like it's scary, but we just lost the gains that we made one day ago. And despite everything else coming down, I would say that's a pretty positive thing for Bitcoin right now. Now, besides what I just said, there are other positive things I want you guys to focus on. For example, this morning, one of the largest asset managers on earth just opened up Bitcoin buying for all 401k investors, employees or employers that's offering 401k, right? And their own 23,000 employees. They can now buy Bitcoin with their 401k. This is absolutely huge. I don't want you guys to forget this. This is billions upon billions upon billions of dollars that could be entering this space, all right? And we have the Bitcoin spot ETFs that's also coming up next week. It has been delayed. It turns out it's been delayed, but it will be coming next week, okay? Again, opportunity for billions upon billions to come into the space. Now, there is other good news. This has came up. Fort Worth, the city, will actually be mining Bitcoin themselves. Again, a lot of mayors, cities, states, countries that are fully embracing Bitcoin. They're not paying attention to day-to-day. They're focusing on the long-term gains, life-changing wealth, right? Even for a city. So they're going to have mining rigs running out of a city hall. They better beef up their infrastructure, their electricity, because it's gonna get up there, right? But that's also very, very positive. So that is something we can look forward to, as well as more cities embrace and adopt Bitcoin. Now, what else is there? This is also relevant. A lot of people are paying attention to, oh, I forgot about Michael Saylor. We can't ever forget about Michael Saylor. Yeah, by the way, the Fidelity, very first employer, okay, that will be offering is MicroStrategy. So that's not a surprise, but I just want to mention that real quick. Something else that's important is a DXY. Many people have been looking at a DXY, which is measuring the dollar versus a bucket of other fiat currencies around the world, and it is topping out. It continued to go up. It's at 102, and if you look at the bottom here, the last two times it has topped out and started going down because it was overbought. Guess what happened? On the top, you could see, for first time it happened in 2017, Bitcoin went up 2,500%. Next time it did it, that was back in March of 2020, the Black Swan event. Bitcoin up 1,400%. Right now, the DXY is at that same point. So if it flips down, guess how high Bitcoin's going to go? Anyone's guess right now. Could it be 1,000%? Maybe. Could it be 500%? Maybe. Right? Who knows? But that is something worth paying attention to, because the DXY, which is the dollar strength, right, tends to overheat at times and does come down. And when it does, it tends to be very good for other investments, such as Bitcoin. So that is also something that could bring billions upon billions and billions of dollars into Bitcoin. Okay. And lastly, institutions, good and bad. Mostly good ones, the ones that's been buying and holding, I would say they're good. I would say that Twitter probably will be buying Bitcoin and holding in their balance sheet pretty soon. Jack Dorsey may buy a little more with his Twitter profits, but within a survey taken by Bitstamp, 80% of the institutions they talk to are bullish on crypto, bullish on future of Web 3.0 and Bitcoin and blockchain and DeFi, and they're not going to get out of the market, right? So this is something that's still happening. A lot of metrics are still showing a ton of buying, a ton of Bitcoin outflowing from Coinbase. The future is bright. That's why you got to expand your time horizon. Don't concentrate on 5-minute charts or day-to-day or even week-to-week. Concentrate on years. What's going to happen in the next 3, 5, 7, 10 years? The landscape is going to be very different, and you're going to wish that you stayed in. If you're thinking about getting out, well, you're going to wish that you've stayed in. Okay? So, stay strong, my friends. Stay strong. All right. Now, what else is going on just outside of crypto? Cardano has upped the main block size by 8K. This ups it about 10%. We know Cardano right now is still work in progress, not the most scalable chain out there. They're working on it, but they are going to be increasing, or they did increase the block size by 10%. So this will help them overall in terms of, the growing usage. So that's pretty good. Trader Joe from Avalanche, they're going to be launching their own NFT marketplace called JoePegs. Okay, everyone is getting involved with marketplaces, so that's not really a surprise, but it could be. Trader Joe is the biggest DEX for Avalanche. Could spur some buying, so that could be good. Also, in terms of Terra, there is another protocol that raised 8.5 million that will move UST and others, right, to different currencies, because everything is back really pegged to the dollar. And Vertex is trying to make it pegged to other currencies that exist out there in the world. So, of course, this will be very good for Terra, UST, and all the other currencies that's pegged to it. So that's also good. And this morning I covered about how Fireblocks mentioned that $500 million from institutions like Stampede into Terra's DeFi because of their crazy rates that they're offering, right? That is still happening. Again, institutional adoption still happening right in front of our eyes. And lastly, Apecoin is still doing very well, mostly because this other side metaverse that will be coming out in 4 days. Just want to mention that. It could be a big thing or it could be a flop. So we don't know, but that is one of the reasons why Apecoin is still doing very, very well. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys are not overreacting, not panicking. I know a lot of you guys are panicking, but I'm trying to do what I can to keep you guys focused on long haul, long term. I've been through worse. I've been through much worse, and I know these periods suck, but we always get through it. And we come out stronger, okay? So, take it from someone that's been through much worse. Yes, it's bad, but it will get better. All right, let's do some Q&A. Bill, you've been with me. You know what it's like. You know what it's like. Scrolling up, Pappy Loves says Fidelity's are legend for this. I think, yeah, I don't think people realize how big this actually is. How much money is in 401ks, right? And this is just the beginning. And this is just for the US, right? So what about other countries that starts doing this? I mean, this has the potential to really bring, like I said, billions upon billions upon billions into Bitcoin. So let's not overlook this monumental announcement. Tiberius says, have I told you I got half my paycheck in BTC now? Every single time? Every single paycheck? That's quite a lot. That's saying a lot right there. Shannon, yay or nay to Toyota Tacoma for a female? Doesn't really need a truck, but wants one. I mean, Tacomas look really cool. But if you just want a truck for the sake of having a truck, but still be a very good daily driver, you may want to look at a new Ford Maverick, because it's actually a really good compact truck, but it's not really compact size, and you get great fuel economy, and you get a truck bed too. But on the other hand, if you get a Tacoma, even a used one, it will never break down, and its resale value will stay up forever. So that's the good thing about having a Tacoma. Let's see. Steven, stop spreading FUD. I'm 58. I don't have much longer to live. I'll stop it. You're 58. You have plenty of time to live. Another Steven says, if ADA is garbage, Shiba is as well. Well, that's obvious, but I don't think ADA is garbage. And I would argue even Shiba is not garbage at this point. So neither one is garbage. Do you have any information on what's going on with Cake and their pool farms? No. Did something happen? I didn't hear anything. Most bears are bullish this morning too. You know, I made this point before. Okay, there's a lot of people that they can't contain their emotions, or they're too new, and they naturally just flip flop from one side to another to another to another, right? These they honestly haven't been through it, I guess, right? Or they don't have enough of conviction in what they've been telling their audience. I'm not like that. Like I said, I've been through this way too long. Been way through worse times, right? So, and I know every time it goes down, it sucks. You check your portfolio, it goes down. I know, right? It does suck. But every single time, it does come back and comes back stronger. And every single time I've made a mistake of saying, okay, I need to sell now because it's going to go lower. Every single time, it comes back up. And I've learned over the years, had I just not done anything, despite all the bad, right? Had I not done any moves at all, I would have made more money. And that is the one thing I will say to you guys. If you go be an investor in Bitcoin or Ethereum or Solana or Terra, wherever it may be, despite all the guys telling you to do this and this and this and this and make all the moves, after it's all said and done, if you calculate, had you just bought and held and done nothing, no trades at all, you'll be up more. And that's what most people figure out eventually. That's why investors, the ones I said worth listening to, the ones that are self-made billionaires, they'll tell you the same thing. You buy and hold. And you buy when others are fearful. That's really the magic, the secret formula, right? It's not complicated. It really is that simple. But you got to make sure you know what you're investing into. And when it comes to Bitcoin, I know deep down, nothing will replace it. There's nothing. No matter how many cryptos come out in the future, nothing will replace Bitcoin. People like to think it will, but Bitcoin is a store of value. Everything else is a piece of technology. So Ethereum could be gone in 10 years. Cardano could be gone in 10 years, even though I don't think it'll be gone in 10 years. But Bitcoin will never be gone. That I know of. All right, I rambled on a little bit, but let's see if I missed anything else. Brian, been buying Matic and Mana at a loss. Considering current situation, when you convert to BTC at a loss. Brian, you know, with those kind of questions, it really depends on your current portfolio. If you're telling me that you have no Bitcoin in your portfolio, then yeah, I would say it's highly recommended to add some Bitcoin to your portfolio. But that does not mean you have to sell at a loss to be able to do that. You can put more money in and add Bitcoin, right? But if you already have Bitcoin and you just realize, well, Matic and Mana has just not been as strong as Bitcoin, you're losing against Bitcoin, well, then it makes sense too, right? But I will say that, you know, when things are down, this is why I say you should follow 50, 25, 25. Because, you know, when things are down, Bitcoin always holds better than most altcoins. It gives you that stability. But when things recover, altcoins recover really fast too, right? So sometimes you make that move and then the market recovers and then you're going to regret that you sold off Matic and Mana for Bitcoin. So it's really hard to answer. So if you're not following my 50, 25, 25 rule, like you don't have a balanced portfolio, then I would say try to get there. So you have to decide what to do, whether you sell a portion, sell all, add Bitcoin, it's up to you. You have to decide. But I would say keep a balanced portfolio. Why has KNC been bullish the past 2 weeks? I have no idea. Scotty Swing, the more positivity you bring to the space, the more people are hodl. You do more than what you realize, buddy. I hope so. I hope so. You know, it gets tough sometimes. You see all the negative comments all the time. Oh, at least I do. I try to read through them, and it sucks. But honestly, I am saying what I believe in and what I'm doing, right? People I know are looking at their losses, and it sucks, but keep in mind it's all unrealized losses. And my unrealized losses is way more than most people will ever see, right? But again, I've learned from my mistakes. I'm helping people not make the same mistakes that I've made, and will attain wealth much faster than I have, right? By simply following what I've been saying. And the more people that hodl, right, the better off it is, and the less manipulation there is. And it is happening, slowly but surely. We're at an all-time high for holders. 64% have not moved their Bitcoin in 1 year. That's all-time high. So we are, as a collective group, getting stronger and holding more, right? And that is why Bitcoin is where it is. It is not at 4,000. It is not at 10,000, right? It's not even at 20,000. So as a cumulative whole, we are getting stronger. But there, of course, there's a lot more people that have entered the space since, you know, the early years, right? And we need to help everyone stay stronger. Rick, a lot of people ask about step-in. I'm staying away. It's not something that I believe is worth what it's worth. A lot of fitness projects have failed. And honestly, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense that you have to spend thousands to buy some shoe NFTs before you can use the app. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And I don't like the way it's pumping. And that's why I'm staying far away from step-in. Brendan, I appreciate that. Jedi, hey, new to the space, I watch it every day. If I had extra on the side, I DCA every 2 weeks. The week when it's low, should I buy or wait for a week? All right, so when it comes to DCA, there's only two things, or really two methods. Otherwise, you're just buying the dip, which is a third method. It's fine. But when you're doing dollar cost averaging, you usually set a schedule, right? So in your case, if you're getting paid every 2 weeks, you could do it on your payday. And how you're supposed to do it is this: ignore the price. It doesn't matter if you're down or up that day, if Bitcoin is rallying or dumping, it doesn't matter. You're setting a schedule to buy the same amount, meaning the same dollar amount, not the same amount of crypto. So if you're putting in $50, $100, just do so. $50 every single paycheck day, and buy what you want. And your dollar cost averaging like that. Or you do it by a percentage. So Bitcoin drops 10%, then you put in $50. If it doesn't drop 10%, then don't put in $50. You just wait, right? And every time it does drop 10%, you put $50. So you either do it by a percentage or by time, and just stick with it. Stick with a schedule that works for you. You don't want to, I guess you can mix and match, but usually that doesn't work as well. So cut out. My internet just cut out. I don't know what happened there, but I think I'm back. Hey Nam, thank you. What's the better deal right now? Phantom, Luna, Solana, or DeFi Kingdoms? I think DeFi Kingdoms and Phantom obviously sold off a little bit more, so they're pretty attractive. But Luna is very strong. Solana is very strong. So there you go. I am back. Do I like Jasmine and Rise? No, not so much. Kava's up 34%. Kava's up because they're introducing a new mainnet 10, which will connect them to Ethereum and Cosmos and kind of create this ultimate bridge and DeFi ecosystem. So I think it could be good. We'll see what happens afterwards. I think it's also really good for Cosmos. Do I like mango sticky rice? I've never heard that. I like sticky rice, not mango sticky rice. I still do like Gala. I do not hold cake anymore. Because I'm not really interested in DEXs. I don't hold any DEXs. Let's see. I'm wondering miners go move to Cadena with the E 2.0. No, it's not the same kind of mining. You need a specific hardware to mine Cadena. So it's not... The GPU market will flood after 2.0 comes out. Like, there's going to be a lot of dumping of GPUs. So right now is the worst time to be buying a GPU for mining. Lewis, you know, like right now, yes, it's stupid to be dumping Bitcoin because S&P is down, but that's just how traders are on Wall Street. We like to think that all hedge funds and Wall Street guys know what they're doing. All the analysts sound very smart on TV, right? Yet when you look at their performance, it doesn't indicate that. Some of the ETFs out there are money losers, big losers. Hedge funds are money losers. They tend to be reactive, very reactive, day to day even, right? So on a day like today, a lot of them are selling off Bitcoin because they're fearful. And then when we have a good day, guess what? They're buying Bitcoin. These are the guys that never make any money truly with Bitcoin. The ones that made money with Bitcoin are long-term holders. It's really that simple. You DCA and hold it. That's it. You don't try to day trade. And that's exactly what's happening. Unfortunately, with a lot of institutions that's gotten in, you know, they tend to do irrational things, just like when they do with tech. It just happens. So, but we will get through this, guys. We will get through this. All right, I'm going to let you guys go. Overall, you know, Bitcoin is down. Yes, it went down a little bit more. And I know it's painful, okay? I know it sucks. But you got to stop looking at day to day or minute by minute or even week to week. Focus on long term. Don't try to trade. Don't try to time top or bottom. Focus on years. And within the last 7 years, nothing has come anywhere close to Bitcoin. And I believe in the next 7 years, it'll be the same way. All right. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Make sure you don't miss it. And I'll see you guys later. Take care. Bye-bye.